You guys, Seeking Sister Wife is delivering on the mess this season. What a well-rounded cast of characters. As Stefan from SNL would say,
this place has everything.
I mean, we definitely have everything. From a former, possibly still current cult member couple engaged in very probable stalking, to a woman who is married to a man but seeking a sister wife for herself, to the messiest couple on the show. Fan favorites to cringe at, the Merrifields. You know, the guy who claimed the Holy Spirit is actually a euphemism for sperm entering your brain or something like that. A healthy marriage this is not, but the Merrifields definitely understood the assignment when it comes to upping the shock value each and every episode. I really didn't think I could be left speechless again after Garrick's Holy Spirit explanation, and yet here we are at episode 7 of season 5, and I am shook yet again. In this episode, we see Danielle take a page from Amber Heard's playbook in order to expose the real Garrick. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into today's video. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Sarah and welcome back to my channel. I had a whole other video planned for today, but I decided I really needed to talk about Seeking Sister Wife. Did you guys follow the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial? There was so much evidence in that case that was recordings of phone calls, and there was even this video entered into evidence that Amber Heard recorded of a drunk Johnny Depp slamming his kitchen cabinets and seemingly throwing an adult temper tantrum. It really gave the public a peek behind the curtain as to what these two were like behind closed doors. Up until episode 7 of season 5, I would best describe Garrick's personality as an AI glitch. He always came off very robotic and monotone and like he was having to force human emotion to the best of his ability.
I felt emotional too.
Well, thanks to Dannielle Merrifield, who stays doing the absolute most at sabotaging her husband's hopes for multiple wives, we get some self-filmed footage that shows Mr. Garrick in a much different light.
You know, things just really aren't kind of where I expected them to be. I feel like him and Natalia are still really connecting, but it seems like him and I are just not in a great place.
Things aren't going exactly how you thought they would? You don't say, Danielle.
Okay. No, kisses, no.
But how exactly did you think things were going to go? Apparently, Danielle was under the impression that she and Natalia would talk just as much, if not more, than Natalia and Garrick. Because after all, Danielle did propose to Natalia herself, asking her to be her sister. Let's take a look at this argument that ensues in which Garrick breaks from his usual robotic, monotone self.
She's home, she's having Father's Day dinner with her family, and...
But she's responded to you how many times?
A few.
Okay.
Did she respond to you on the old phone at all?
Not since she's been home and
no, wait, not at all today. No, not at all today.
Not since she saw my messages. Now why is she not responding? She saw my messages. Respond to that. Go ahead.
I think women are emotional, but I think that at the same time it makes them more vulnerable to thoughts or ideas, having to learn to, well, not every thought that enters your mind is a good thought to entertain.
Oh my gosh, this dude literally just criticized Danielle for entertaining the hysterical woman thoughts that enter her brain when he is constantly moving the goalposts of what he says God has intended for their family according to whatever new sex fantasy he has. This dude really puts the ick in Garrick. I can't tell. Does Garrick know she's recording this argument? Sometimes I think that he does, but at other times during this clip, I'm really not sure. But you know this is fighting they're constantly having. Danielle has acquiesced to a family dynamic that affords Garrick the ability to openly cheat on her. That's what's happening here. Danielle insisting on having some sort of friendship with whoever else Garrick convinces to sleep with him is really harshing his mellow. The thing that is most cringe about this is that they have 2 teenage boys that are overhearing all of these arguments. Ugh, I wish people would think of the children.
She literally saw my message and didn't respond.
How do you know she's not going to respond? You don't even know yet.
How many
No, wait,
times?
how many times have you done this? Because you're...
That doesn't matter,
Yes,
Garrick.
it does matter.
How many times?
She hasn't said another word to me since then.
It's been hours since she responded to me.
He is going to be going back to Brazil to be with Natalia.
So I'm going to be heading to Brazil for a solid month here.
So after all that arguing, the consensus at the end is that Garrick is going to go to Brazil for a month. Sure, that'll smooth things over with Danielle.
I know we need this separation. I know there's a reason for it too. I don't know, like, what if he stays there with her? Like, what if this is the end for us? I don't know.
Usually, if a friend of yours voices insecurities about, oh my gosh, what if my partner leaves me? We would be like, oh my gosh, don't be silly. But in this instance, I'm like, yeah, girl, what if Garrick does just decide to stay in Brazil? I honestly wouldn't put it past him. And what on earth are you talking about that you know this is good for your relationship? This reminds me of when we would hear Mary, Janelle, and Christine talking about working on overcoming their jealousies because this is such a good way to live. If your inner voice is screaming that what your partner is trying to convince you to do is not for you, then maybe you should listen to your inner voice. You clearly know yourself better than your partner does. But the thing that is so wildly confusing to me about the Merrifields is that on paper, Danielle seems to have the upper hand, so to speak. At least as far as emotional support goes. It's her family that's appearing on camera and trying their best to be supportive. Remember, Garrick was disowned by his family. If Danielle left him, this dude would literally have no family left. I don't know what Danielle is so afraid of, but she's clearly terrified of him leaving her. So she's doing whatever she can to keep him around, even if it means the life she thought she would have is not even a thing anymore. It's like I want to ask Danielle, what exactly do you think you are preserving here? This certainly is not a healthy family dynamic. You're literally bringing your kids and your parents on Garrick's bang trips. That's strange to say the least. But Danielle is no dummy. She recorded this to show the world what Garrick is really like. I mean, she doesn't exactly look her best here either, but I think the bigger message that she wanted to get across was that this dude really doesn't care who gets hurt in his quest to satisfy his sexual urges. And we will get to see that Danielle is back to her sabotaging ways because in the upcoming episodes, Garrick is going to go out with a local woman. Will this have the same effect on Natalia the way Leah pretty much ended any hope of Roberta and Garrick having a future? I guess we shall see. What did you guys think of this self-shot footage? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Be sure to check out my second channel, Sarah Spills. A link for that will be in the description of this video. Follow me on Instagram, Threads, and X at Reality Squad, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care. Have a good one. Much love.